Hey Lawn Care Nation, so it's the winter off season and that's the perfect time to do any research for any changes that you may be thinking about implementing in your lawn care business for the upcoming season. Now last year at this exact time in January 2024, I was doing just that. I was researching all of the different possibilities available to me for doing credit card fee processing in my lawn care business. Now for the past 19 years in business, I have always done credit card on file. Essentially what that means is if a customer accepts my quote, they have to provide me with their credit card details, and then at the end of every month I charge their credit cards directly for all of the work that was done in that previous month. It's the only form of payment that I have taken in my lawn care business for the past 18 years. It's only the very first year that I was in business that I allowed getting paid by cash and check and stuff, but I quickly learned that I didn't like chasing money, that it was a lot of wasted time at the end of the month. It devalued the work that I was doing because I was adding now a bunch of extra work, having to do multiple visits to people's homes to pick up money if they were there or not there. It was just a mess. So quickly learned that paying a fee to process credit cards was just a cost of doing business. But there were some things that I learned along the way and over the past 19 years that I want to pass along with you guys, as well as what my research ended up in finding. And that is a company that I switched to over the past year, and now I have a full year under my belt using that company and some data that I can share with you guys on the savings that I had by switching to this company. Now, just briefly, when I first started my lawn care business, I quickly learned with the very first credit card processing company that I went with that not all credit cards are created equal in terms of the fees that you will be charged for those credit cards. So, for example, if a customer pays you with a basic stripped down Visa, just a basic Visa, they don't get any rewards for it. There's no points or anything like that. The rates for the percentages that the merchant will be charged for charging that credit card are going to be the lowest that you're going to pay. Now, on the flip side of that, if a customer gives you some fancy platinum reward card where they get a bunch of travel perks and points and all this sort of stuff, the fees to the merchant are going to be the highest on those types of cards. On top of the percentage that you get charged, there's also a transaction fee for each credit card transaction. Now these can average, from 25 cents to 30 cents per transaction, but there's some cases where some particular cards may have just a crazy transaction fee. I learned this the hard way about 15 years ago when I had a client where I went to go do a job. It was a simple lawn mowing. It was only a $30 mow. They gave me a credit card. I didn't know about all these fees and all this sort of stuff at the time. I charged their credit card for the $30 mow. And at the end of the month, when I got my credit card processing merchant bill, I saw that one particular transaction, because they had used that platinum card or whatever it was at the time, it was a $10 transaction fee for charging that card on top of the 3% of the actual job on top of that. So as you can imagine, I made no money on that particular job, and I quickly learned that I didn't like that style of credit card processing because I didn't know what my fees were going to be on each of the type of jobs. It's very, very difficult to be able to quote particular jobs. On top of that, that merchant company would add a bunch of other fees that were just very complicated to figure out. There was always these hidden fees, always surprise fees that would end up, and it was just a mess. So that brings us back to last year where I decided it was time to change. Unfortunately, through my research, there were no longer any companies out there that were doing a set monthly flat rate fee. There were companies, however, that advertised flat rate fees like Square, but it's a flat rate percentage. The problem with that, with having a flat rate percentage, is, like I said, not every credit card is created equal. So if, say, a flat rate is 3% or 3.5%, again, that might be great if all your customers' credit cards are all like platinum reward cards and all that sort of stuff. But if you have a mix of clients and some are using regular basic credit cards that you may theoretically only be charged 2% for, you're still only going to be paying the higher 3.5% or 3% flat rate fee on even those credit cards, because it's flat rate across all those different credit cards. But actually there is a better way, and that's the company that I stumbled upon, a company I had never even heard of before, and they're called Helcim, Helcim, helcim.com. And because I've been using them now for an entire lawn care season, I can share some numbers with you. Now, I'm not going to go over exact revenue numbers and things like that, but what I can do is share with you the percentages that I calculated based on last year. So in comparing my 2024 lawn care season, where I was with Helcim, versus my 2023 lawn care season, where I was with the other credit card company that I didn't like, my gross revenue actually went up last year. It went up 8.7%. So I made 8.7% more money last year in my lawn care business versus 2023. Now, despite that, my fees for credit card processing actually went down 34%, despite making 8.7% more money last year. So that is crazy. That is, the concrete evidence that I needed to be able to see that the claims that this company talk about are and ring true. With the old company, the only option they had, telephone banking. So essentially I had to, at the end of the month, get on my cell phone. I had to call their 1-800 number, and then they had an automated system where you go do a transaction. You have to manually enter that credit card number of your customer, then enter the expiry date, enter the amount that you're charging, press accept. Then it reads back whether it got accepted or it got declined, tells you the transaction number, and then asks you if you want to make another transaction. As you can imagine, this took a long time. So with this new company, they have a virtual terminal that saves all of that work, and literally I can go from a couple of hours of processing my credit cards at the end of the month to about 5 to 10 minutes of doing it, and then they're all completely done, because this just saves so much headache at the end of the month on how quick I can process all of those credit cards, and time is money as well. So let's get into it. So the company, as I mentioned, is called Helcim, Helcim.com. Now, Helcim is available if you're Canadian, as well as if you are in the United States as well. They've got offices in both countries, and you can take advantage of their rates. So as you can see here, I'm on their pricing page. It says accepting payments made affordable, lower rates, no monthly fees, and no contracts. And that is a big part of it. Now you can see they've got different rates here up in this little area here. It says in-person, keyed, and online, ACH, and pass on the fees. So keyed and online is what we're interested in, because I'm doing credit card on file. If in-person payments means is that the customer is there with you, they're going to present your credit card, you're going to put it in like a credit card machine and charge them that way. You're going to get the lowest rates at that rate, because the customer is there and it's lower fraud instance. Keyed online, the rates are going to be a little bit higher, but not too bad in comparison to, like I say, PayPal or Square or all of the other types of online payment processes that you'll find. So if we go to keyed and online, you can see on average, you're looking at 2.33% plus 25 cents per transaction to be able to use them. If you want to get a more kind of drill down on that, you can go to this little menu here and go down to the types of credit cards. So on Visa, you're looking at 2.2% plus 25 cents, and then they actually show you the different types of Visa cards there that are possible, and any sort of rates there. The only thing that changes is the actual rate that credit card is charging Helcim. That's the only thing. What Helcim actually charges is right here, the Helcim margin, they call it, and it's 0.5% plus the transaction fee. That is all that they are charging for you to be able to charge credit cards. These fees that fluctuate, like I said, it depends on that particular credit card, but Helcim has them all here listed. As you can see, a regular consumer card might be as low as 1.4%, going to a corporate card or a privilege card that has points and rewards and stuff might be as high as 2.4%. So you would be paying in essence 2.4% plus the Helcim margin and all that, which is going to bring you to the 3.08, the true rate that you can see here. Now, a lot of the cards that I'm charging for visas and stuff are in this area here in the 2.33% I found when I'm looking at my monthly statement. So like this infinite range of type of card. If we switch and go to MasterCard, you can see the different rates for different types of MasterCards there. So they make it really easy for you to get an idea of those rates. Again, the fees are always exactly the same. It's always 0.5% plus the 25 cents per transaction is what Helcim is making. They're only making 0.5% off of you to be able to charge the merchant fees. The rest of those percentages is what the actual individual credit card is getting. So very transparent pricing, which is what I like. The other option that they have is something that they get, or they call like passing on the fees, and that's to get free credit card processing, pass on the fees to your customer. So essentially how that would work is that you would send your customer an invoice, and it would actually add the percentages for basically a convenience charge for them to be able to use their credit card to pay, and it would make the customer responsible for that. So if you sent a customer a bill for $100, it would be $100 plus the processing fees for them to use that. So you essentially would get the full $100 in your bank account because the customer would be taking care of the fees. So that is an option, and some companies do that. For me, I don't do that. I absorb the cost as part of a cost of doing business, and I just do the keyed and online type fees. You can see here as well, if you're in Canada or the US, you can switch to see what the rates will be in your particular country. Again, very transparent the way they do it, and make it very easy to understand. So talk about transparency. So here's the other thing with this company that is absolutely fantastic, and that is that they have zero setup fees, they have zero cancellation fees, they have zero deposit fees, there's zero monthly fees, there's zero user fees, and there's zero PCI fees, which are related to the credit card processing as well. This is why I love them. It literally costs nothing for me to sign up. I can cancel anytime with no charges, with no penalties, like all of the other credit card companies that want to lock you in to their systems for 3 years is the typical to start when you're first starting out, and then it renews automatically for every year. After that, they make it very difficult with fees to get out of the contract and all that sort of stuff. Where Helcim, there's no fees at all. The only thing you're ever paying for is that percentage per transaction if and when you're charging a credit card. The other thing that they have here is equipment that doesn't break the bank. So you can rent terminals off of them and card readers if you want. I don't have that. I use their virtual terminal because I'm only charging credit cards at the end of the month. But they also have a really convenient phone app that you can have on your phone, and you have access to their virtual terminal right on your phone. So the cool thing about them is that you can set up your client list in their virtual terminal. They've got what they call their secure vault. So all of your credit card, customers' credit card information is absolutely secure. They handle all of that. They have all the responsibility of keeping those credit card numbers safe. The really cool thing too is once you enter a credit card details for a particular client, it does a check and tells you if it's valid information or not. And it's really neat because as the months roll on, you'll get little notices in your client list showing if a credit card expiry date is coming up, and you can preemptively ask a client for their new credit card details because it's coming up for expiry. Whereas with me in the old system, because it was doing telephone banking stuff, I wouldn't remember when client credit cards are coming up for expiry. Usually be at the end of the month. I go to look at my list. I'd have all my credit card client credit card numbers laid out, getting ready to manually enter them, and then I'd see, oh man, this one expired this month, so now I gotta contact them and wait to get paid and all that sort of stuff for that particular. Where this makes it really easy because it'll kind of highlight it and let you know. Making sure you get paid fast. So they will deposit your money within 2 business days. I've had it take up to 2 days for the first deposits, and sometimes it's right the next day for the deposits. It really depends on the month and if there's a long weekend or a holiday or whatever the case may be. But essentially is very, very fast payments, so that money shows up in your bank. The only time where Helcim took a little bit longer was the very first time setting up the account. I think it took a week for that very first payment because they're getting everything sort of set up and started. But after that, each month it was only a maximum of about 2 days. So again, all the tools you need, no monthly fees. So virtual terminal, you get that. That is absolutely awesome. Essentially, that is where you can set up your client list, do your billing, invoicing, all that sort of stuff. Super easy to do. They do invoicing. You can set up reoccurring payments. They have point of sale. They have payment pages, online checkouts, the secure credit card vault, and even API and developer tools. So if you want to have an online store or something like that, you can integrate Helcim right into that. So it makes it super awesome, super easy to use. If we take a look, if it shows us the virtual terminal, so yeah, essentially you can see in this little window here, so you can have your credit cards laid out. This is exactly how it looks when I'm billing a customer credit card. I've got my client list. I bring it up, I attach the client there, their credit card automatically populates like it's showing there. I enter the amount I want to charge and hit charge, and within a couple seconds it's done, and you move on to the next one. Super simple, super easy. It's been a fantastic system, and again, like I say, a bunch of different options there. You can do billing directly through their online portal. So if you don't want to do like a credit card on file system, so to speak, but you want a way for customers to pay on by credit card, you can create your invoices and send requests right through Helcim, and then the customer on their end will get a email with your bill that they can press a secure link and then enter their information and pay by credit card. That's also a great way if you want to do that fee saver feature where the customer then pays the fees, the convenience charge for using their credit card. That's a great way to implement it that way. And again, like I said, the virtual terminal is there and makes it really easy to be able to enter your client list and have all those credit cards saved, so you're not having to re-enter them each month and all that sort of stuff. Like I said, that's the feature there that took me from a couple of hours in some cases at the end of each month having to manually enter my client's credit card information over the phone to bill their credit cards to literally 5 to 10 minutes of just going through my client list at the end of the month and just putting in the totals for that month and then clicking submit and charging their credit card. Just super simple because I don't have to enter all the credit card details and information and all that stuff each month. It's just securely kept there with them. So absolutely awesome. Like I said, I have really enjoyed using them. I've mentioned them a little bit on my podcast over the past year, just that, I found this company, I'm going to try them out and stuff. And I've been waiting for the entire year to pass so that I could see what these savings would add up to, and if it's really as good as it seems. Now, I'm not affiliated with Helcim or anything like that. They're not paying me to make this video. This is just really something that I have used. I've been really happy with. With that being said, they do have a referral system in that I can offer you guys a discount code for you guys to try out Helcim, where on top of the no monthly fees, no setup fees and all that regular stuff, they'll also give you guys up to $5,000 of transactions with no fees, so that they'll waive any transaction fees for up to your first $5,000 worth of transactions, which equates to roughly about $250 savings in credit card merchant fees. And that's so that you guys can try it out and see how you like it, because there's absolutely no obligation. If you don't like it and you don't like how it works or whatever, you can cancel with no obligation. There's no fees, no nothing. I will say that if you guys do join using that link that gives you guys the $5,000 worth of transactions with no fees, that I also get credited in my own account $5,000 worth of transactions with no fees. So they're not paying me, so to speak, but they are giving me a perk if you guys do sign up through that link that essentially I will save on my own credit card merchant fees as well. But that's because I'm using their system and I love it so much that works. And in fact, one of my podcast listeners actually did sign up. Tony from Tony's Lawn Care did reach out to me to ask me some questions after he heard me talk about it on a podcast, and he went through and used it, and he got his $5,000 in free transactions. I got credited $5,000 worth of credit card transactions as well on my account as well. And so far, Tony has been really enjoying the system as well, and using Helcim for his credit card payments this year. So like I said, it's a fantastic system. You can use it like Tony in the US. You can use it like me if you're in Canada. Again, I just wanted to share it because I think they say on their homepage here that small businesses save 25% on average. Well, we know right away from my numbers that I saved 34% in my business using and switching to Helcim, and that was despite making 8.7% more gross income over the previous year with the traditional kind of credit card merchants. So again, awesome. If you guys want to check it out, if it's something that you guys have been thinking about in your lawn care business of implementing credit card payments, just wanted to share what I've been using over the past year with, and what I've been really happy with, especially with the time savings that it has given me at the end of each and every month using their virtual terminal has been absolutely fantastic. Again, I'll leave a link in the video description here down below, where you guys can see a link to the Helcim. If you click that link, it's going to take you to Helcim, but it's also going to then give you guys that savings of up to $5,000 of transactions for free. So essentially that equals to about $250 in savings to you to be able to try out Helcim with your first $5,000 worth of transactions. So absolutely an awesome deal, considering that there's no setup fees to join, there's no monthly fees, there's no cancellation fees if you don't like it, there's no PCI fees, there's literally no hidden fees. You only get billed that percentage for those different credit cards, and Helcim is only taking that 0.5% plus 25-cent transaction fee, and you can try it out on your first $5,000 worth of transactions with zero fees by using my link that you'll find below. So that's it for this one, guys. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing. Leave a comment down below and let me know if you guys use credit cards and process credit cards in your lawn care business. All right, that's it for this one, guys. We'll catch you in the next one.